Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to another episode of StarChasers, Girls Talk Ball. As you know, it's your girl Mickey, aka Cravin Cowboys. I got my girl Star in the building once again. As you guys know, for some reason, whenever we start our show, her stream kind of freezes. So what she's gonna do is she's gonna actually go back out and come back in, and I'm gonna go with her when she does come back in. But before we get too deep in the content, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that share button. If you guys listen out on Twitter, give us a retweet, give us a share, give us a like. As you guys saw in the as I put in the caption of, we just under 200 subscribers. They're both just trying to get our voice out there. They're trying to get two young content creators trying to get our voice out there, trying to grow our voice. Welcome everybody in the building. Kevin Hicks in the building. What's going on? Zach Owens Filthy in the building. What's going on? Double R early in the building. What's going on, fam? Definitely good to see you. But like I said, everybody just go ahead, jump in, hit the like button, hit the share button, and like I said, my girl Star. How you doing, girl?
What's up, everybody? Glad to see y'all tonight in the chat. Like Mickey said, we are both on the road to get to 200 subscribers. If y'all could please help us grow our content, or grow our channels so that we can get our content out to more people. That would be greatly appreciated. You can donate to our Cash App there, down there below. I have all in my description box. I have all my social medias listed there. So, but we back again this week with another off-season convos, because that's where we at.
Right. Hey, shout out to our boy Nick, as he always says, as the star turns, as you guys know, it's always just somehow. I was just talking to Star off camera about this. It just really just turned into like a soap opera at this point in time. Like we just got.
That's what the off season is.
Right.
That's what the off season is for us, especially because that's what our owners love to do: create drama, create headlines.
Right. It don't even be football news. It just be random stuff, And now we got, you have family members jumping in, so now we have more combo on that side. So I don't know if you guys shout out to Law, shout out to Boss. They were on Ray Ray's podcast. They had Terrence Parsons on there, as you guys know, Michael Parsons' brother. So then, Michael Parsons, I was just talking to Star about this off camera before we actually jumped on. Michael Parsons actually was sharing his thoughts, about how he said he was going to the coaching staff, presenting the idea of, hey, I'll play linebacker if you guys need me to, But I was just telling Star, this is crazy. Like, when things start to come out, it's all about patience. It's all about time. They always say, it's all about time. It's about time. Sometimes you just gotta wait for those stories to come out. Those truths to come out. Shout out to Law. I was talking about those truths always going to come to light. Like now Parsons is coming forward saying he actually went to the DQ. Whoever he even goes to about game planning, that he's willing to play that position. And I was just telling Star this, like, it's crazy. Like it's just we see a lot of pride. Like we saw this past weekend. With the NFC Championship game. Pride can be a mother. So like when you hear that your own coaching staff, who we're believing in this entire year, now you have players, presenting themselves. We saw on the offensive side, Brandon Cooks, be able to communicate with Shoddy and Mike McCarthy, bringing forth ideas, even in game, saying, hey, I can get this touchdown for you. So, when you hit on the defensive side, you think that would be a good thing too. Like, hey, you think DQ is, they call him the ump. He's close with the players. He has his hands on the players, out there, when he's actually close to them. So you would think that, he would take their word, take the heat on their word. And for him to still come out there with the same game plan that you see, that even if you still want to come out with your game plan, if you don't want to adjust, it just says a whole other thing about this particular, whatever coaching staff member he was talking about. Not saying it was Quinn particularly. I don't think he said it was Quinn directly, but just that idea being brought up, this being brought to life. It's crazy.
And shout out to Law Nation, Boss Cowboy Sports, and Ray Ray. I wasn't familiar with Ray Ray, but shout out to him for bringing on, Michael Parsons' brother, and, for them to ask him some serious stuff, Michael Parsons' brother some serious tough questions, because there was seeming like Michael Parsons, didn't want to play linebacker. He wasn't worried about the linebacker position, kind of had that, that's on them type of, mentality. But, listening to Micah Parsons' brother, listening to Micah, like Micah obviously knew and knows that, you know, sacks aren't everything. And, you know, he did say coming into the season that he was not worried about sacks, that he wanted to be able to be a chess piece. He wanted to be able to be like an Aaron Donald and affect the game in any way he could. And, you know, there was unfortunately with our front office, politics is what's most important here. Politics and headlines. You know what I'm saying? Stop football first. That's why I've been putting on
irrelevant for whatever reason.
Right. Whether it's, you know, Jerry said, whether it's good publicity or bad publicity, he doesn't care. As long as they're talking about the Cowboys, that's all he cares about. Right. And unfortunately, what Jerry has done now is that he's built his whole brand off of, we've got to be in the news. We've got to be in the media. He's got to be in the news. He's got to be in the media. You know, he's got to put out these taglines. He's got to put out, you know, don't answer questions directly to create controversy. Like, that's what Jerry Jones lives for, right? He lives for
They got to be, they're the ones who got to be out there at Senior Bowl. Like, I forget who I heard it on, but they're like, you don't see any other owners out there. I think I heard it on Talking Cowboys. You don't see no one on.
But our owner is our GM. So, unfortunately, when your owner's the GM, you know, you have your 81-year-old owner out there, and, you know, his son, I mean, it's serious. He's 81, and then you have his son who is a mechanical engineer. Like, these are not football guys. And because they're not football guys, they don't put football first. They don't put winning first. They, you know, and we'll get, you know, into it later in the show, but, you know, overall, Micah said that he went to his coaches before the playoff game. He said he went to coaches and players and said, hey, you know, if y'all want me to play linebacker, I will do it. I don't care at this point. I just want to win. And we can see from the game plan that he was put at linebacker for very few snaps. And when he was put at linebacker, it didn't even make sense, like dropping him into coverage on a 3rd and 9. So, you know, that's been my biggest issue about, you know, I know people are scared, like, we need to bring Dan Quinn back, because if we don't, you know, we're just going to hire somebody in-house and they're going to run his scheme. And I don't necessarily think that that's true. You know, if you have somebody like Joe Witt Jr., who, shout out to, you know, Skywalker Steel and Law Nation doing a deep dive into Joe Witt Jr., but Joe Witt Jr. is the one who should be getting the credit for the way our DBs play, because he's the passing game coordinator, and everywhere that he's gone, his DBs have played like that. So, you know, and I'm pretty sure Joe Witt didn't agree. Like Terrence Parsons had said, you know, how you going to get pass rush when you're playing your DBs 5-10 yards off the ball, and allowing these quarterbacks to stay on time and in rhythm? You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's halfway to a first down. If not on some of these,
it's automatic first down. You know, and you had somebody like Stephon Gilmore. I put the clip out right before the playoff or the Miami game where he said, you know, you can't play these guys 10 yards off the ball. Like, you've got to be able to press up on wide receivers, disrupt their timing so it can disrupt the quarterback timing. But we didn't do that. We didn't do that in any of our games. And so we're wondering, where's our pass rush? Well, how you going to get pass rush when you have a lethal pass rush? You press your DBs because you have to disrupt the timing of the wide receivers so that the quarterback holds the ball longer, right? And then thus you can get sacks. So it's like what Dan Quinn did every year, every big game that we had. It did not matter how much we were getting slaughtered. He couldn't figure it out. And so I'm like, we gave this man like multiple years, multiple drafts, right? And like, we bring him back again.
I'm gonna cut you off, and free agents.
And we bring him back. Now, I know the front office does play politics when it comes to free agents as well, because they do want you to play draft picks over free agents. Now, it was not like that per se on the offensive side of the ball. that's why I had thought in season that they had relinquished some control, because I'm like, well, Michael Gallup, he's the highest paid wide receiver on the roster right now, but he got benched. Why is Dan Quinn still running J-Ron Curse out there when we have Wanye Thomas? Why did Dan Quinn bench Malik Hooker, who the front office signed to a 3-year deal, for J-Ron Curse, who we did not sign? So it just didn't really make sense. And it's like, at the end of the day, it just feels like all fingers are pointing to Dan Quinn. And this was his weird ideas, and it was his idea to put LVE on the edge. And it was his idea to make Mozzie lose all that weight because he wanted Mozzie to be able to come in here and pass rush. And, you know, it was his idea.
Yeah,
the converted safety stuff. Right. It was his idea. And it's like, okay, I can understand, okay, you lost LVE.
And that was even, let me cut you off, but that was even before the injury to Overshawn. That's what I learned. That Dan Quinn even came into camp with the idea that Marquise Bell was stepping into the linebacker role regardless. So I'm like, before the injury, like that wasn't a break in case of emergency. That was your plan.
No, that was his plan. That's true. I did hear from a reliable source that Marquise Bell was going to play that hybrid role. What's up, Dwayne? That they wanted him to play that hybrid role so that he could make the roster. But what the issue was, he came into training camp too heavy and he lost his speed, and so they made him drop weight again. And so it was like, well, Q, okay, front office, they went out there and got you Rashaan Evans. Now, granted, he was on the street, so I'm not saying he would have just been all world and fixed all the problems, but you still didn't use Rashaan Evans, which we went and got. I don't know if that was front office, but I can't see front office going out and spend money, you know, and him not being able to make it on the field. Now, I don't know if it was Rashaan Evans' fault, but I don't know. All I'm saying is, Dan Quinn, you saw the problem. You seem like you figured out the problem, because when we played the Dolphins, and then we played the Lions, we were able to stop those rushing attacks, but we started using Micah more off ball, right? Yeah. But then in the playoffs, you run out there with the exact same package that you did versus the Buffalo Bills. So it was no wonder you got killed. And so it's like, bring this guy back for what? Like, I think his beliefs are his beliefs. I just don't think that, I mean, and maybe he'll change it. Maybe he will. I mean, if he's brought back, we hope to God he changes, because if not, I mean, it's going to be another disaster. It's going to be another, we're going to ride off the coattails of the offense. And, you know, when we get the playoffs.
And they're going to literally run it back. Like I've heard from multiple Cowboys radio shows, you know, Players Lounge, talking Cowboys, hanging with the boys, saying literally running it back is not a good idea.
You can't just run it exactly back the way it was. So, I don't know, but all I know is. And before we move on,
like I said, I think like you just said, Star, like instead of the offense depending on the defense was depending on the offense. I actually heard that on one of those Cowboys radio shows that like McCarthy started the season off saying he wanted to run the ball, he wanted to rush the defense, but he wanted to depend on the defense to be able to make those stops so that way the offense could get on the field, so they could score points. But as we just mentioned, like, they never found their identity. The offense even started off kind of weird, but even once the offense got on its feet, that's when the defense kind of started to see them regress more and more. So, like you said, like it's somebody the team just kind of lost its identity as a whole. We talk about the identity of the offense, but the defense somewhat lost its identity too. We didn't see turnovers. You know, we didn't see the sacks. We didn't see, you know, the big play abilities. Like we just seen, you know, we just kind of had this belief that we were going to make it because of the wins, the 3 years in a row of 12 wins. You know what I'm saying? We kind of
we did.
We really did. And even McCarthy, you know, mentioned at the end of the season, like he really just relied on hope, belief, you know, faith. He used, you know, the intangibles, like, you know. Once again, McCarthy, one thing we like about it, but it can also be, you know, it can be a calm sometimes, the human side. can sometimes override, the fact side. You see a lot of fans speaking opinions. Oh, we need to get rid of this guy, get rid of this guy, get rid of Dak, don't re-sign him, get rid of McCarthy, do this, do that, But and even now, even almost 2-3 weeks out from the loss, there's still some emotion tied to it because of just the way these guys came out, and even just looking at the season as a whole, even just doing, these reviews of the season, looking back on what these guys did, it's just, it's crazy that just the team never really found its footing, really as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, it's just unfortunate the way that everything rolled around. Unfortunately, I think this team, even on the offensive side of the ball, like, I think this team wanted to roll out there with Mickey Mouse game plans.
Right.
Because they were trying to hide. They were overlooking Green Bay. I mean, if you see the way that they played, they overlooked them. They thought that they could hide, go out there with a preseason game plan, and Dan Quinn could just line up however he wanted to line up. We was going to win that game, and we found out real fast. Absolutely not. So, it's disappointing and so unfortunate the way our season ended. And, unfortunately, people don't want to look. People don't want to hear the hard truth, and they don't really want to deal. What I'm finding out, and I'm finding out from fans and some content creators and stuff like that it's easier to say let's change the personnel, let's change the coach, than to deal with the real issue, which is this front office. It's easier to do that because you're making a living off of covering the Cowboys, and honestly, you got to be able to have something positive to say, otherwise fans will be like, we don't want to listen. We're tired of this. Everything is doom and gloom. So you try to get the fans excited by talking about, maybe we could trade Dak, or maybe we could get one of these quarterbacks. But people who are viewing the quarterbacks are saying, all them quarterbacks that's in this draft, not good. Like, maybe one or two of them is ready. Like, the rest of them definitely not ready. So, and if we do a rebuild, this is not like the Rams where all they needed was a quarterback. Like, y'all are talking about going and getting somebody younger, unproven, having them develop over the years, and then building
and trying to take leadership of the locker room. That's not easy for any kind of rookie to do.
Right, and then you have players who are already connected and binded with Dak.
Exactly.
So, you want them to waste the prime of their careers on a quarterback that's building up, and then you see your front office. Michael Parsons also said this. He said, "We need to go out and get the players this year. We didn't do that last year." So it's like when you're trying to get your elite superstars to sign deals, they're going to be pushing it to the max limit. Because they're like, this team doesn't build. Y'all don't know how to build teams. So I know that we're not going to win a Super Bowl 9 times out of 10 while I'm in my prime. So you're going to have to pay me top dollar if you want me to stay here. Otherwise, I'm gone. Exactly. So I don't think people realize, like the snowball effect that can happen when you just say, let's just change the quarterback out. Let's just get rid of him because, we just seen it too many times. He just recently, it's like he's regressed in the playoffs and all of this type of stuff. And it's people who they can't deal with the real issue, so they have to just focus in on something quick that could be what they could perceive as a quick change, a quick fix. But I'm like, y'all don't understand, because of the politics of the front office, nothing will change. I'm trying to get us to focus on the front office has to change before anything changes. And I'm not talking about Jerry and Steven stepping down. They're not going to do that. They're not going to sell the Cowboys. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about putting pressure on Jerry and Steven to do the right thing.
Exactly.
And not giving up on that. Not getting caught up. Not doing what they want you to do. Entertaining getting another quarterback. Because I just looked up, because I know the whole switch flip thing that they said, we technically don't have to extend Dak Prescott. We can just do this conversion. And so basically what it is it allows teams to turn part of a player's salary into a bonus, which for cap purposes gets spread out through the duration of the contract. And so with 2 void years. So it said, let me see. It says, it says with 2 void years, largely a formality to help teams manage the cap, attached to Prescott's deal, nearly $28 million of his salary can be converted and thus pushed into the next 3 seasons at a little over $9 million per year. Some back of the napkin math says that it would free up only a maximum of $18.53 million and bring his cap hit to $40.93 million. You know, which will be less. So they could last. So, and this is from Cowboys Country Fanatic. This article is entitled "Could Cowboys Cut Dak Prescott's Salary to $1 million inside the switch flip cap trick?" And this was written by Anthony Licciardi, January 27, 2024. But let me finish reading. Okay, so basically it would just turn it would free up roughly, what did it say it would free up? Hold on. I lost the place. Yeah. It would free up roughly, dang it, I lost my place. Oh, 18.53 million. And it would just bring his cap hit down to 40.93 million.
So instead of the $60 million, they will bring it down to 40.
Right. So instead of the 60 million, it would bring it down to 40. It said, and as a technicality, but an eye popper, as Gelkin points out, talking about Michael Gelkin, Dallas would pay Prescott his $29 million due, most of it in bonus, but could make Dak's base salary a measly $1.21 million. Again, it's a math trick, but an eye popper. In a sense, this is a short-term solution to a long-term problem. Right. It would have Dak still under contract for just 1 season with the switch flipped by March 13th, the start of the NFL business year, while negotiations are in theory continue in an affordable manner. So basically, he's saying like this is something that you do when you're still in negotiation period, but say you want to go out there and you want to sign some guys. So you're still working on the deal, but I need to free up some money now. Right. So it's like you can free up some money now, but this is not something that you're supposed to ride on. This is supposed to be something you switch while you're trying to get the deal done. But it said, but it doesn't solve the question of who will be the Cowboys QB in 2025 and beyond. Exactly. If the stagnation of the past few seasons has left one disinterested in Dallas's next steps and hoping for a shiny new rookie quarterback in the near future, this option may be preferable. But remember, there will still come the dead cap from letting Prescott walk, right, approaching $55 million, which would further hinder the rebuilding effort. So what it's saying is, none of
those scenarios even make sense to do, honestly.
What it's saying is, even if you do the switch flip, he's still going to be on the books for $55 million. Right. And he's still, if you don't get a deal done before the 2025 year, or by the end of the 2024 season year, he'll still be an unrestricted free agent, which means now your quarterback can go out and negotiate and talk to whoever the hell he wants to do. Yep. And you're still going to have to pay him $55 million. So even if you have another quarterback, how are you going to build around that quarterback when you got to pay this guy $55 million for not even being your quarterback?
Right. It's not like a similar situation to what happened with Jalen Smith. They were still paying on his contract. What, I think last year, the year before, something
right.
Like that?
They were still paying on it because there's going to be dead cap. Whenever you let players walk or you cut them, whatever, there's still dead cap. So the dead cap from Dak Prescott would be $55 million. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, Jerry's out here saying all this bunch of hullabaloo, like he really has some leverage. He doesn't have any leverage at all. Everything is comfortably in Dak Prescott's ball court. Right. So everybody, Dak has the upper hand in everything. You can't trade him unless he chooses to be traded. You still gonna have to. You can do the switch flip, but you still gonna owe him $55 million, and he's still an unrestricted free agent by the end.
Right. Like you said, everything's in his corner. Like
if we wanted to, Yeah, like
Dak would just be not carefree about it, but not just him just being like.
Yeah, and shout out to Bobby Bell because he pointed out, he said, because people are saying, Dak should ask for a trade. He's asked for a trade, but he's like, if Dak's agent is going to tell him, let you do the switch flip or pay for $59 million, because it's going to be better for the agent, because once Dak Prescott hits the free market, it's going to be a bidding war on his head.
Bruh.
Like so that was going to be
like the headline. Hey, like Cowboys don't want him. What y'all gonna pay for him? You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Exactly.
Like, man.
It's gonna be a bidding war on Dak Prescott's head. So Dak Prescott literally is gonna get to choose where your all pro MVP quarterback will be on the free market, going out for free dinners and lunches. Everybody's telling him everything they're gonna do. We're gonna bring this guy here. We're gonna everything great and lovely. With his new baby, his baby mama, and Jerry and them gonna be looking fucking stupid.
Yeah.
With who? Trey Lance or another rookie quarterback? Be for real. Like, I thank God for Dak Prescott's agent, because he set Dak up for the ultimate success, and this is beautiful. Because I was like, listen, there's only two ways this organization can go.
Right, and they did the same thing last time. Trying to table, like they procrastinated last time. That's why he got paid the $40 million for, because they
exactly. So it's like, this is what y'all don't get. Like, for all y'all that want to get rid of Dak Prescott, yeah, we could get rid of him, but it's going to cost us. It's going to hurt us for years.
Right,
like that's the reality.
It's not going to cost Dak. It's going to cost the Cowboys.
Yeah, this isn't going to be Jalen Smith's dead cat money. Like, it's $9 million. No, this will be $55 million. Like, are you guys crazy? Right. So anyway, I'm like, this organization can only go in either way. I feel like it's going to get better, because if you extend Dak Prescott, that shows me that you're serious and you want to build more so that we can win Super Bowl. If you don't extend him and you let him walk, my favorite player in the NFL gets whatever the hell he wants. Gets the best one, gets to go wherever he wants, gets his money, gets his bag, and while this organization goes straight into QB purgatory.
Exactly.
So, and if this organization goes into QB purgatory, what hopium you gonna sell then?
Right, exactly.
Like, so either way, whatever happens with Dak Prescott, I'm at peace with it. Honestly, if I was him, I'd get the hell out of here, because no one appreciates him here. I do, but the fans, you got the front office, and we could, you got the front office totally denigrating them and putting blame on him and all of this type of stuff. It's just really laughable at this point. So that's why I don't care about Jerry's antics and whatever. I'm gonna keep speaking the truth, and I'm gonna keep trying to compel the front office to do the right thing. But hey,
see, I've been seeing you putting the hashtag out, football first, and everybody in the chat, like, hey, follow Star, put out that hashtag. Like they said, shout out to everybody on the Final Word, Boss, Law, everybody that comes through, Big Game James. They said that they watch those Twitter feeds. They have somebody who watches those Twitter feeds, so
they do, and that's why I keep putting it out.
He started that spam lamb, and hey, out of nowhere,
look what happened.
He started
getting spammed. Exactly. So if y'all can put hashtag football first, and retweet. I'm gonna tweet every day until they do it. Extend Dak Prescott. So because extending Dak Prescott is the first step you need to take to say, okay, we really want to win.
Right.
If you want to rebuild, but the question is, do y'all trust this front office to do a rebuild? Y'all do know the past two quarterbacks that they did not want or choose them.
Right.
They lucked into those guys.
Exactly. Yep.
So Jerry Jones wanted Paxton Lynch and Johnny Manziel, two quarterbacks that's not even in the league. I don't even think they're in the fan league.
Right. And Romo was undrafted.
Like, come on, guys. But the fans might just get what they want. But either way, I know my guy Dak Prescott is good because his agent set him up that way. So, like I said, either way, exactly what Bobby Bill said. If they let Dak Prescott walk, this organization deserves everything that comes up. And I'm gonna keep covering. I'm gonna keep I'm gonna keep supporting my Cowboys, but I'm gonna be a lot of y'all gonna feel real dumb because I'm gonna be calling everybody out the day the Dak Prescott walks out of here, and then we see how our organization is, and then I'm gonna be telling y'all who we gonna blame now.
Right.
Who's to blame now? Dak's gone. He's a Steeler now, so can't blame him anymore.
Right.
Can't put it on him anymore that he's the problem. He sucks. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway.
Shout out to everybody in the building that kind of snuck in while we was going on. Leisha in the building, of course, Nisi. Like you said, like, hey, if I was Dak, I would leave for his own mental health. And we saw even Tad say on Twitter, like, you know, Dak loves the star. He loves the Cowboys. You know, he wants to bring him a championship. I'm not going to say it. You know, it could be hard to change his mind, but when you have that mindset, you know, he's built the time with his team. He's already eight years in. You know, like Star mentioned earlier, he's already built like this kind of, you know, this chemistry with the players. He took control really of the locker room since he got there in his rookie year. So, you know, he's kind of built this mentality, but it's instilled in him almost. You know what I mean?
Like
so, you can't
exactly right.
Leave your guys. You don't want to leave your guys hanging. Even
exactly.
we saw Dak in I think in camp or preseason when they took him out because they didn't want him getting too many snaps to come out injury. And he got attitude at the backup. When the backup came and told him, okay,
that was their camp.
You know what I'm saying? So Dak is passionate. We see the passion he has for the team, for his players, you know, for his own responsibility to the team. You know what I'm saying? And he's always taking responsibility. So there's really no question, like Star always says, there's no question that it's Dak's, you know, really commitment to the team. So, you know,
but y'all say get rid of him. So get rid of him. We can't win. We can't win with an all-pro MVP level quarterback. Get rid of him.
Right.
That's what y'all are saying. We can't win. And somebody pointed it out. They were like, dude, if you can't win, one of the content creators, they were like, but if you can't win with an all-pro MVP level quarterback, like, that's on your GM. Right. Like, in other organizations, you can't even talk crazy or go against the franchise quarterback because he's more important to the franchise than the GM.
Exactly.
But
I think you. I listened to B. You talk about B Bird's called Skywalker on his show.
It might be B Bird. I also listened to.
He was talking back, like you said, like just the common denominator over all these years has been the front office, GM / owner, whatever. You know, Coach Jerry, whatever you want to call himself at the time, like that's been the common denominator. And Stephen Jones too. I mean, he likes to. I don't want to say he hides behind his dad, but we all want to say Jerry. You know, some fans want to say Jerry, but you know, as it comes to light, and you know, people are already know, but it's come to light recently that, you know, Stephen is taking over now. You know, Jerry is the face. Jerry loves being in the media, but yeah, Stephen is doing his work. You know.
Yeah, he's just as much of the media as Jerry. Anytime that's Jerry speaks, he also has his segment. But it's like another thing. Think about this too. Dak's, and I came to that conclusion today, and then we can get into content, but Dak's not going to ask for a trade. That'd be dumb. Why would I ask for a trade with an organization that treated me like shit so that y'all can profit? Y'all can sell me to another team? No. Good. Y'all gonna pay me my money. I can either sit out if I want to, or I can play this year. Right. And then I'm gonna hit the free market. Right. So the most you can get from me.
That's why he said he wasn't scared of Trey Lance. Like, Trey Lance. Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Right. So it's like, right. So it's like the most you can get from me if I hit the free agent the free market is a compensatory pick.
Right.
So that's not gonna ask for a trade because that would be dumb. It's like if they really want to play hardball, you let Jerry. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Jerry Jones has zero leverage. Zero. Like, you have none. You have none at all. You only win on this deal if you extend Dak Prescott, and that's exactly how the agent have it set up. That's the only way you win this deal. Otherwise, you're screwed. Good luck trying to find another quarterback, and maybe you luck into another one. Okay, you can luck into another one, but how you gonna build around this other quarterback?
Exactly.
When you still gotta pay Dak his money. What did he say? Go ahead and get rid of Dak. What she said? If you thought CD had. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Like the way that Dak has built his relationships with Cooks, with Jalen Brooks, our 7th round pick.
Right.
Like
quick, like
when you think when Dak leaves, everybody just gonna stay. No, you're gonna start seeing other people leave. You're gonna start other people holding this front office hostage when it comes to contracts. Like, it would be, I've already said it, front office lets Dak Prescott walk. It would be the biggest mistake they've ever made in franchise history. But I'm at peace with that, because maybe that mistake will force them to change. Maybe that mistake will force them to sell the team. I don't know. But either way, if they want to make a stupid decision like that, that's what Bobby Bill was trying to get across. He's like, it's so dumb what y'all are doing. Yeah. But if y'all want to do it, please do it. Please do it. It'll be the dumbest decision you made, but if you want to do that, please go right ahead. But anyway, let's get into some of the
you cooking I'm just like, you cooking, stars. So when we cooking, I ain't stopping nothing. You feel me?
Yeah.
We just we kind of mentioned earlier about these championship games. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, for me, it was just another reminder of what really was missing from our game, and kind of looking at the other teams around the league. Looking at the Ravens. You know what I'm saying? Just seeing the kind of game that they played. We didn't see the playmaker step up. We didn't see Lamar playing his game. We didn't see him being mobile in the pocket like we do. We're used to seeing Lamar Jackson making those plays, making those throws. I'm saying even running the ball, using his legs. We didn't see today. I think it was the players' lounge, and they actually went over the numbers, which is crazy to me. That I think the Ravens only had 16 rush attempts. This is what we talk about with the run game, and we've gotten on Cowboys all year. When we look at the rush attempts for each of the games, we see Tony Pollard only getting what 15, maybe 20 touches in general. And we know that's not. We've heard Shotty mention they want to get 30 touches to the running back, but we rarely saw that. So to hear a team like the Ravens not utilize really the strength of their team in the running game, having Lamar, who I think he took like 8 of the 16 snaps. So the running backs really only truly got half of the rushing attempts. You can't win a game like that, period. So it's just like I learned also the players now that three of the last 4 teams left were top 5 in the run game all year: Ravens, Lions, 49ers. And we talk about that with the Cowboys too. Like, for us to not have a run game, when we saw that, I think I'm talking to you about the star, that we kind of took away Tony Pollard's help. I think we talked about it off camera yesterday, but we talk about Dak not having help with receivers. We talk about CD not having help, being the only lone receiver in previous seasons. But it's kind of made me think about, we kind of not saying, of course, we let Zeke walk. Not saying we needed Zeke, but not having that supplement. Going off Rico, who granted did have fresh legs,
who's hurt. Rico, who's hurt, guys. So they were barely getting. I think Sky said there was I think Sky said there were 10 games where he only had 5 carries or less.
Right. Like, how do you? That's not a run game.
That's not a run game.
Out the backfield, and I'm not hating on those. I like those packages. They work. I like the plays with Kirby come out the backfield, but there has to be a foundation, a strong run game just for this team to be able to even think about moving forward.
Yeah. I mean, it's apparent, and playoff football never changes. The way that you win in playoffs is by having a defense and having a run game, right? Even though the Ravens lost, they lost because the offense got away from their identity, but their defense held the Chiefs to 17 points.
Exactly. They said Mahomes didn't even score a point in the second half.
He did not. And see, that's what makes me really think. And before I keep going, shout out to Dwayne Brown. He donated to my Cash App. I appreciate you, Dwayne. But yeah, they limited Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs to 17 points. That's why I laugh at y'all. I laugh at people who are like, there are people really Mahomes is just the best thing ever. I'm like, is that what y'all got from the game versus the Ravens? Because he didn't really do much. Right. And he scored 17 points. How much was he really doing out there? Not much. He had 250 yards and 1 touchdown. Exactly. And people were like, there's nobody like Mahomes from that game. Is that what y'all said? We see games in the past, but
right, and that's credit to the Ravens, whose defense showed up in the second half to be able to hold them. You know what I'm saying? And Chiefs, I think I counted 3 to 4 possessions. I don't want to say extra possessions, but the Ravens had multiple chances to be able to get back in the game. I think Chiefs punted 3 or 4 times between the third and fourth quarter.
They had plenty of chances. It was really the offense. The offense just could not get anything going. But if I go to the and you can keep talking, but
and watch you bring that up. Yeah, shout out to Dwayne Brown donating my cash up as well. We really do appreciate you, Brandon. Really do appreciate you. Nisi says front office won't learn because in key positions they had a good alternative. Romo retired, we had Dak. Beware left, there was D-Law up and coming. That's a good point. Like we kind of talk about the fans not being used to, not being used to, a star before quarterback purgatory, us not having the right kind of play. But we kind of went through those years where we had situations like we didn't have enough receivers, or we didn't have a running game, or the defense kind of fell out, didn't show up in certain games. But we just kind of always had, we did have CD. We kind of just leaned on the crutch of having a good player like Amari Cooper. He came in and so-called saved the Cowboys season that year. So that made the front office feel good enough that, okay, that worked, for a couple of years. But as soon as the money come up, we saw he was out of here. So it just really,
exactly.
we to see that could they use, for me, not for me, but in my opinion, it's kind of like the convenience factor. Like, it worked out that time. Oh, our draft pick worked out that time. Like, but even with this, but I think I don't know if they haven't really came out. I don't know if anyone, first of all, I don't know if the media's even asked about it. But I don't know how they feel about this past draft class, where they, we've seen low production for most of the picks. So, like I said, shout out to the media, the beat writers. I don't know if anybody has asked them, how the front office feels about, their last draft. But I'm sure they're going to go into this draft, just a little bit more wary of the picks they make, not necessarily just putting Band-Aids on anything. I'm just hoping, even with McCarthy and Dak being in, in quote-unquote one-year contracts as of right now, not having an extension right now, but I'm just wondering how they're going to approach this draft, or even free agency. What kind of plan, what kind of long-term plan that it looks like for this Cowboys team.
Yeah, and when I'm going through. This is the wild card. First of all, we were the team that gave up the most points in playoffs. Well, no. Let me take away that because Dak's pick six. Our defense technically gave up 41, but in the Browns versus Texans game. In the Browns versus Texans game, Browns gave up. The Browns defense, I think, no, but what's his name did throw back-to-back pick sixes. So
Flacco, yeah,
I forgot Flacco did throw back-to-back pick sixes. But anyway, so these teams in the wild card, giving up, the teams that lost gave up 30-plus points.
Right.
That's not. You're not okay. That's the wild card, right? That's the lower. Then you go to the divisional round. 34 points. The Texans gave up to the Ravens.
Yep.
Guess who won that game? 31 points. The Buccaneers gave up to the Lions.
Exactly.
Guess who won that game? Okay. Then you go to the conference championship. Lions gave up 34 points. Guess who won that game? Chiefs. Like I said, the Ravens, they only gave up 17 points, but their offense couldn't get going. So you see that? If you're scoring 30-plus points in the playoffs,
right?
If your defense is allowing 30-plus points in the playoffs, there's a high chance that you're going to lose. Right. There's a high chance that you're going to lose that game.
Yeah. You're supposed to be facing higher tier defenses when you do reach the postseason. That's
correct.
As we've seen, as far as the run game on offense for these teams, who are top 5 teams in the run game. So you're going to see, like the 49ers were top 5 in defense. The Ravens, had I don't know their
Ravens top 5. Ravens were the number 1 defense. The Chiefs top 5 in defense. Like, it's really quite simple. 2 things travel in the playoffs: defense and run game. Our defense showed all year wasn't it, because every big game we had, they fell apart. They averaged giving up 32, 34 points in losses, right?
Right.
You can see here, our running game wasn't serious.
Right.
14th overall.
Exactly.
20th in yards per carry. Totally unserious running team all year. So then you look at this. I'm glad Mickey put that will to fight because 49ers faced a deficit, right? At halftime, it was what? 6-24, I think.
Right. I think it was 27-7, I think. Or something. I think they said it was a 17-point game.
Yeah, it might have been 7. I think it could have been 7. Let me see. I think it was 7 to. Oh, hold on, I could just do this.
While she brings it up, everybody, like I said, hit the like button, hit the share button. Shout out to Sports Junkie in the building. What's up, fam? How you doing?
Yeah, by halftime. Yeah, by halftime, it was 24-7.
24-7, right?
Remember at our halftime, what was the score?
I think it was 20-7 or 27. I think it was
27. It was 27-7. Yeah. So the Lions had just, the 49ers defense had just given up 3 points shy of what happened, right? Actually less because remember Dak threw the pick. So at this time, defense had only given up 20 points. I don't know if I said it on here, but no, I didn't say it on here. I think I said it when I called in the Landlord Show earlier this week, but going through Peyton Manning's Super Bowl run, AFC Championship, they scored what? It was 6-26 or 6-27. One of that. It's almost the exact same. Just like our game at halftime, just like the 49ers Lions game, just like the Colts versus that they were facing the Patriots in the AFC Championship.
Okay.
And Peyton Manning had thrown the pick 6. But you know what the difference was between our defenses and the 49ers defense and the Colts defense? Right? Want to know the difference? They were able to, in the second half, get stops. They were able in the second half. The Colts actually sealed the game. Tom Brady was about to drive down the field, had plenty of time. They ended up getting the pick to send them to the Super Bowl. The 49ers defense, what was this final score? 31-34?
Mm-hmm.
So 24. So they only gave up how many points?
Yeah, they only gave up 3 points in the second half, I think.
They only gave up 7 points in the second half. Yep, they only gave up 7 points. And the Lions only scored 7 points in the fourth quarter.
Man, that's crazy.
So y'all see what we're saying? And I like the sooner that we realize and stop believing Jerry Jones, who does nothing but lie to Cowboy fans, and this is what I put out today, how the reason why fans spit on Dak Prescott is because that's what Jerry does. Saying that we go as far as Dak Prescott goes is the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Excuse my language. Yeah. You have never even heard the Chiefs say, we go as far as Patrick Mahomes goes. You have never heard the Patriots say, we go as far as Tom Brady goes. This is a team game. There are 22 players on the field. You go as far as the team goes. You go as far as really the front office, because it's the front office that builds the championship team. So Jerry, instead of saying we go as far as that goes, how about we go as far as you go? We go as far as Jerry Jones will take us. Right. That's what you should have said, Jerry. But it's easy to throw bombs and grenades on Dak Prescott because that's what you've been doing since he's been your franchise quarterback.
Right.
And honestly, it's disgusting. And that's the issue with
the media also does that too. Like you said, he's been doing it since he got there. The media does it, so it just kind of feeds into what the media has already done.
Exactly. That's the problem with our front office. It's the toxicity. First of all, it's very hard to repeat Super Bowls, right?
Right.
You know, there's 31 teams that lose the Super Bowl that year, right? Because only one team can win it. Right. But it's these nasty politic games that we play here in Dallas is also a reason why we can't get further. Because, see, we thought it was the Jimmy Johnson curse. Then Jimmy Johnson gets in to the Ring of Honor, and then we put on the field the worst playoff game in playoff history.
Right.
It's because of the way that things are ran here. It's not football first. The players can't just focus on playing as a team because they got to worry about contracts. Our free agents they don't really feel a part of the team because they just ride the freaking bench. Even though they'll have a draft pick in there that they know is better than, but they ride the bench. This is the type of stuff that we're talking about.
Right.
Like, and I see where you said like star players showed up. Yeah.
Yep.
Offense settled second half.
Right. Exactly.
Defense never did.
Exactly. And
the defense couldn't give. Yeah.
Even just looking at the other game, like we seen McCaffrey stuff. We seen Bosa in a second. And what I like, I don't like anything about 49ers, but one thing I did notice is that I didn't see celebrating. I didn't see Bosa celebrating when he got his sack. He got his sack and got back to the huddle. You saw that with Ferguson, but even with CD getting the touchdown late right before the half, he's celebrating first down. Like, no, like get back to the huddle. You down right now. We talk about mentality. We talk about just how they approach the game. So we definitely just see the two different sides. We see 49 and that's one thing that I don't say frustrates me, but it's our rival. You know what I'm saying? So you say you want to be like them. You say all year in the media, oh yeah, we're gonna beat them. Oh, it's just another game. We not put too much into it. But the media knows. You know what I'm saying? Fans know. 49ers know. We saw what Debo going back and forth with Parsons. I know, not back and forth serious, but of course we're talking about back and forth. We know what these two divisions. I mean, not these two divisions, but these two organizations going back and forth have built a rivalry, even just coming back to what even just from what it was in the 90s. So. You would just expect them to just, want to emulate them. It's just a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But, once again, I just talked about star players. We just want to see that. Even if you're not, like you said, there's 22 guys out there, but just for me, we want our star players to show. That's what you get paid for. Granted, you guys, all of our star players, quote unquote, are on, second year contract or second, renew contracts or whatever like that. Dak is, but, CD waiting on his, Mike is waiting on his, but this is why we bring you guys' names all year, because this is why you guys get the recognition all year. So when you do get to the postseason, yes, we want to see you guys show up. When we see the Bosa show, when we see McCaffrey's
right. But you know what it takes? It takes that team mentality that we're not out of this thing. Right. You could see that as soon as the first score was scored, it's like the whole team felt defeated.
Right,
and that's not how it should be.
Exactly.
Our team is really struggling. Our team is struggling from mental toughness.
Right,
they're struggling bad from it. Now, granted, on the defensive side of the ball, Dan Quinn and Terrence Parsons said it. He thinks Dan Quinn done lost that locker room. So I really don't even know how that's going to work out. You're going to bring back a defensive coordinator that none of these players even believe in at this point because of what he did and how he made them literally a laughing stock of the NFL? Yeah, that's what we want. Dan Moore gone, because what is bringing back going to do for even your players? No one trusts you. They went to you. They tried to get you to change. You didn't change. You still did the same damn thing. You still wanted to do what you wanted to do. Right. There's a reason why Dan Quinn don't want to be back here. He want to be able to run his thing the way he run his thing. If he wanted to be back here, he would have been back. Right. Dan Quinn don't want to come back here. He knows he done lost the locker room. He knows it. He knows it. So he knows he can come back here, but what benefit would it be when your players don't believe in you? That's why he wants to go somewhere else where he can establish new relationships. Because the relationship that he has here is already... It's lost, said, sully, and denigrated. They don't want no parts of you. They don't trust you. And even if you do start listening, it's still like, oh, now you want to listen?
Right, exactly.
And then if we don't get further, they're going to be like, we could have went further last year, but you screwed us. Like, it's going to be real hard trying to do that.
Yeah, and I've seen tweets on Twitter, talking about something, well, one game shouldn't destroy a whole career or what he's done, this, that, and the third. And we're not saying that. We're not saying that DQ isn't who he was before. Well, I'll say me. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that DQ isn't still the defensive guru who we thought he was. He's great. He came in and changed the team, but there's got to be a time where you realize that thing, like you mentioned, I think last week on our show Star, about evolving, about making those adjustments. The NFL has changed over the past few years. Like, if you're being figured out, if your scheme is being figured out, why not? Why, even if you want to keep your base idea, you still got to be able to adjust or find, even get down to the details. Okay, well, if I want to use the personnel, well, hey, maybe I got to use them this way, that way, or maybe I just got to change altogether. It's not working.
That's the issue. Like, you don't adjust, and too many times your players, you're embarrassing them. You're messing up their careers, their legacy. Like, Anyway, I don't want Dan Moore back. I really do not. I just don't think that he's the guy for the job. I don't think he wants to be here. I don't think the players want him back. I don't think Mike McCarthy wants him back. So why force a coach? If it is you, Jerry and Steven, why y'all? This is what we're talking about. Stop trying to force stuff.
Right. You still trying
to force stuff. And I hope Dan Quinn, he don't come back. I hope he just says, you know what, I'm gonna just sit out a year. Right. I'm really hoping from Dan Quinn, because it's like, Dan Quinn, you don't want to come back. We already know that. If you did, you would be back.
Right.
You don't want to be here.
I understand, like in previous years, you let it be known. Okay, well, if you're gonna come back, you're gonna come back, or if you're gone, you let it be known early. But hey, man, it's been weeks. Like,
it's been weeks. Like, he is willing to take any job possible to get any head coach job possible,
right.
So that he don't have to come back here. Like, that should be a red flag to this front office. But they're idiots, and they'll sit there and let this man come back who don't even want to be. And I don't even want a coach back who don't want to be here.
Exactly.
He doesn't want to be here. So now you're having a coach in the building who don't want to be here. The players don't want him here. It's like, are you trying to end our next season before it starts? Because that's what it's sure seeming like.
Right. But how can you can't connect over the offseason when you come in with those feelings.
It's exactly like it's done. It's done. The relationship is done. Dan Quinn has peaked. He's peaked here. Right. Maybe he can go somewhere else and do something else. But he's taking his defense as far as it can go.
Exactly.
It's time for someone else to come in here with new ideas and new vision about how to utilize these players in their best positions. Because I don't think Dan Quinn had play. I think Dan Quinn put a lot of players out of position and put players in a lot of positions that made them look horrible instead of putting them in positions where they looked the best. AKA choosing your scheme over players.
Right. Exactly.
That's exactly what it was.
And we talk about. I mean, even I talked about it before when Zeke was still here. We talked about progress stoppers. Like, we talk about players taking up positions, and being progress stoppers to the guys behind them. So if you have a coach who's constantly using his favorites, when did those younger guys? We saw with the offensive line. We saw with the receivers, young guys getting reps in the beginning of the season. So when the end of the season comes, they're ready for those moments. So being able to see that on the offensive side. The young guys in the defense don't get to see those same kind of snaps. So when you get
they don't get to play. They don't play. And I'm sure if Dan fought for any of them to play, they would have played. But you didn't. You kept rolling out Curse and Dono Wilson, who have regressed in my opinion.
Right.
I think we made.
How you doing? We appreciate you. We appreciate you, man.
I think, let's move on to the free agency.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, Speaking of holes, in our team coming up this offseason, and saying we potentially have 16 free agents, going to hit the market, maybe sign with the Cowboys, may talk to other teams. Fill out the market, see maybe where they fit. And I didn't necessarily name all the free agents. I just listed, some key positions that we're going to be looking at, for the draft. Off camera, we've been doing some draft talk, Star. But I just want to put some key positions on here and not necessarily talk draft, but just looking at the guys that are going to be, leaving, could come back, the talk, during this week, Tyron Smith. I've seen people, kind of debating whether or not he should come back. Of course, Chuma. I'm not saying them, I'm not saying that Chuma's coming back. I'm just listing Chuma as one of the free agents who's going to be gone at that position. So, of course, the tackle position just in general, we're going to be looking at, the draft coming up. Of course, the running backs, they're both going to be free agents, Gilmore and Lewis, Hankins and Gallimore. So we're seeing a lot of, really the I don't want to say top 1 and 2, but hey, Tyron Smith, Tony Pollard, these are some of our starting guys. So we're definitely going to be having to address these holes like we talked about last season's draft. kind of putting, as Broaders put it, putting Band-Aid. We say Band-Aids on the amputation. I forget how you put it, but this is gonna have to be something more than that. Jay talked about going all in, so we're gonna see, how serious it is, because these are starting positions. These are very important holes in our offense / defense that have to be addressed. If he even thinks that we can even think about having a double-digit win season this year.
Right. Yeah, and that's correct. And I think we have a lot of free agents that are expendable, but as you said, we do have free agents here, and it's all, we have a 16 up, so we got to decide, who we should keep, who we should let go. I think as far as Tyron Smith, I keep Tyron Smith here, because at this point, if he wants to come back, it's very cheap. When he does play and he's healthy, he still plays at an All-Pro level. He just got his another All-Pro nod. So I think you keep Tyron Smith here, but you do have to have his replacement in the waiting to take the reins. You cannot allow Tyron Smith to say, "Oh, we got Tyron. We don't need a draft to tackle," and then you go in and try to get somebody like a Chua Edoga who literally cost you games. So this is what we're talking about. Like,
I'm gonna cut you off, but games late in the season. We didn't need that. We can't get lapses in those late games.
Exactly. And it's like, instead of, that's a position that you were negligent on. First of all, we all knew, like, as soon as Tyron Smith went out, it should have been Tyler Smith kicking out. But for some reason, aka probably politics, they just refused to move Tyler Smith at all to tackle. So now he's just locked in the guard. So now it's like, okay, you got to go out there and you need to get your left tackle of the future, because this is likely Tyron's last year.
Exactly.
When it comes to Tony Pollard and Rico, bye to both of them. Sorry. Rico, you always hurt.
Right.
You can't give us, we can't play you much because you're always hurt. Tony Pollard, I appreciate what you did for us, bro, but I'm not resigning. I just paid you $10 million this year. You're running back.
Ain't no penalty gonna ask for. It'd be one thing we paid him like 5, 6. The market.
No, we paid this man $10 million. Your running back vision was terrible. I'm sorry, was not good. Yes, there was problems with the run blocking, but there was times when I saw the run blocking just fine, and you screwed it up because you don't have good vision. So we gotta let you walk. You can go head to the Broncos or wherever the hell you want to head, but we can't keep you. I agree with that. We should have. When we thought we got his replacement in Tyler Smith, but Boss Cowboy pointed out Tyler Smith. Oh, just tell me where to go and I'll go. And so Steven stupid ass Jones, he's my language, took that as the green light. All right, and now we're gonna keep you at guard and we're gonna pay you guard money. So anyway, we got to get another tackle. Yeah. Gilmore and Lewis, either one of them I'm fine with bringing back. If you want to bring back Gilly, bring them back. If you want to bring back Jordan Lewis, you can bring it back. You're obviously not going to bring back both. Jordan Lewis is obviously younger. But, Gilmore, if he wants to come back one more year just because of his leadership and, his play to me was up and down. So I'm not going to say that he was just all world for us, but he was pretty decent for the most part. Sometimes he got cooked, but it was more so because of like matchup issues and stuff like that he got cooked. He can't hang with those shifty route runners. Like he's just not. It's not that guy, So Jordan Lewis can, but Jordan Lewis also, he was our fourth best corner for a reason. So you got to decide what you're going to do, but you got to bring one of them back because you just can't have that many holes at the defensive back position. And where do you think, in my opinion?
Right, and before we go to DT, like where do you think they're going to think about? You think they're going to keep Deron Bland on the outside next year? I know you got Diggs coming back, but like, how do you think they'll handle the situation with Bland? Like, because
they're going to if they're smart, they need to put Bland back in the slot.
Back in the inside.
Bland is not. He can play outside corner. I know people. He got all pro as outside, but he can't play outside. Like, just shut up, okay? He got all pro because he broke the interceptions record. That's why he got all pro, guys. Like, he didn't get all pro because he He just was this amazing out there on the outside. Like I said, he's decent to good on the outside, but he's really a slot corner. He does not have the height nor the long speed that you need in today's NFL to face those top flight wide receiver ones. I'm sorry. He doesn't have that. I think he would do way better if he was in the slot, so he replaced somebody like J. Lou. She said, since it takes him 5 to 7 games to turn up, that should be taken into consideration. Yeah, I mean, but J. Lou, he has some good games. You know, I mean, what he did versus the Rams.
And some big games, too. San Fran.
Right. San Fran, Seattle, Seahawks. Like, I'm not going to take a shit on Jordan Lewis.
Right. The Lions, too.
He was a good corner for us. He's a pretty good, solid corner. Is he all world? No. But he's a pretty good, solid corner. And he will get signed. He will get picked up anywhere else. So, that's my pick. But Hankins and Gallimore, Hankins obviously bring him back.
Yeah.
Gallimore should have been gone 2 seasons ago.
Right.
So I don't,
right. I
don't know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And of course, the last free agent is going to be a free agent coming up. Beyond I'm not going to really. And I saw you this too last week on our show, Star. Like I don't know if it was last week or if it was yesterday. We talking about camera about draft, but it really, like you say, you wait for them to make a decision about what they're going to do with Beyond. And you had mentioned that you had a feeling that you think that Stephen Jones or Stephen A. Jerry Jones, whoever making the decision is going to keep the it really determines.
I just have a feeling. I don't know why, and I'm hoping to God they don't do it because it's really going to show me they're not serious at all. If they bring him back, but Biadasz seems like a guy that Stephen Jones can toss a measly contract at, and Biadasz will accept it immediately. And we know how Stephen Jones does. Look at LBE. He keeps bringing him back, progress stopping, because he's cost $2. And that's what Stephen Jones like. Oh, you're willing to come back? I know you're not great or the best, but you come back for $2? Oh, absolutely. Signed. That's how Stephen is. He's an idiot. And it's like guys that we should have signed, like Connor McGovern, who's now over there in the Bills land. Like we should have kept him.
It's crazy you brought that up. Because they had listed, I think it was Talking Cowboys, they had the list of, the players who made Pro Bowl, and they had like some kind of rank where they said that Connor McGovern, I think was in top 10, ranked centers, and Biadasz was like down, I think it was overall players, but like.
You're talking about Connor Williams? Connor Williams is the one who plays center.
Oh, was it Williams? Oh, okay, I'm getting confused. Never mind.
Yeah. They talk about Connor Williams, but Connor Williams, we had him in left guard all them years to find out this boy is a center. He's a top 10 center in the NFL. Like, are y'all stupid?
Right.
Then you got we molded 2 offensive linemen that we just let walk out the building.
Right.
Dumb. Like, I cannot believe we let Connor McGovern. Everybody said we should let him walk. What? We made him into a left guard, and now he's a great left guard for the Bills.
Right.
Oh, he was a swing. He could have been a swing. He could play left and right guard. Like we built him to that, and then let him walk.
And with the depth guys we have now, that could have shored up our O line if we held them. So those guys are still young. When we had them, they're still young now. So
very young.
Our depth guys, you know what I'm saying. But speaking of that, it just popped in my head because we talk about O line. And do you think that he came in really late in the season? But do you see Collins sticking around for this camp coming up?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I don't know what Lyle. We never saw him play a snap. I know they say he looked good, but we don't. I don't know. I don't know what Lyle could do, and if he does, he's got to come back as a guard. Right. And if I'm not starting him. I would keep him here as a flex guard, emergency tackle if he's got no one else. That's what I would keep him here as a depth piece. But who knows if they'll actually do that? I think it'll probably be a good idea. But let's keep going because I got about like 10 minutes left. But
no, you good. That was really because we already talked about when Jerry and Steve at the Senior Bowl and that was pretty much. And just one more thing I'm going to point out from their interviews is I noticed that like you said.
Hold on. Let's go back to before we close with this because we can be like 5 minutes on that. But free agents that I think we should address. We got the guy on the screen. He was the background of our thumbnail.
Yeah, that's the thing.
2 free agents that if we say go all in, what does go all in look like? 2 to 3 free agents that I think we could get that would make me say, okay, you guys are serious. One is the guy on the screen right there, Patrick Queen. I'm also willing. I know people say he got benched and he kind of sucks now, but I'm also willing to entertain Devin White. Because I don't know why he was benched or why he quote unquote sucks now. I don't know if it's like a coverage issue. I don't know what happened with him, but sometimes players just need a resurgence they just need to change the scenery. So those are 2 young linebackers, 4'4", 4'4", low 4'5" speed that we can get into that position, can play the middle linebacker, and really help us fill those holes. And another guy that I think we probably won't get him, but if we did get him, I'd be saying absolutely that's an all-in move, is if you go in and but you go in and get cornerback Jalen Johnson from the Bears.
I don't know if they did for sure, but I thought the Bears were trying to rework a deal for him.
I mean, but he's still a free agent.
He's still gonna be a free. Okay.
So you go ahead and you throw a bag of cash at him and see if you can get him something. Those would be moves that would make me say, okay, this front office is serious about him.
Right.
Because it's like can't depend on Diggs.
Right. Exactly. Not coming into the season. Because he was like the only back in like week 8. He was like the only. We were trying to think about who like possible moves they can make. At the week 8 trade deadline, that was really the only move that made sense at the time. But we were down DB. We lost Diggs. That's the only move that made sense. But something I think we
didn't do it. That's what I'm talking about. We just sat on our laurel. We good. We good. We know we got Bland kind of playing out of position, but we good. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
And if you go and get a Jalen Johnson, then you don't have to bring Gilmore or Lewis back. Or if you do bring one back, you bring, you can bring either or of them back. But, they're going to be playing. They'll be your 4th corner. And that's exactly what you want to do. At this point, with Gilmore and Lewis, you would want them to be like your 4th corner that you can just throw in the spots. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to be serious about that cornerback 2, 1 position, you go out there and you get Jalen Johnson. Or you can draft. You can draft the corner because they got some good corners in this draft as well. Kalen King, Quentin Mitchell, Quinyon Mitchell from Toledo. Like, these are guys you go out and get. They're ready to play today. So you can do that as well. But Jalen Johnson is young. See how much he wants to give him a bag of cash. I would personally sign him, but. That's what we got to see, but we can go to you can say quickly, what free agents are you looking at?
I haven't necessarily been looking at the free agent names out there. I've been kind of like studying like more of the draft names coming up, just trying to kind of focus on, like I said, maybe the Cowboys, who we focus on. What's up, JVB boy? How you doing, fam? And like I said, just looking at some of the names in the draft, I saw people talking about Peyton Wilson showing up. I tried the big game. I saw the interview he had with him. I think he put it out today, or I don't know if it was yesterday or today. But I'm really excited. Like you just mentioned, Quinyon Mitchell, potentially being there. Like, we talk about an off-camera star. Like it's. I tried to Jake, so he tweeted out like for him at 24 that he would be open to doing best player available, and that's one thing about having we just talked about most of our free agents hitting the free market, but the good thing is that we can afford these free agents. I'm saying we do have the cap space, and we actually have the luxury this year, even still, to still be able to look at the free agency market, look at the draft, and be able to if you will really have our pick, because we have our star players. It's really just building, like Star said, adding those key 1 or 2 pieces at the number 2 position, just really shore up, the defense, really on both sides. You know what I'm saying? So, it's really just a matter of, like you said, it's really a matter of coaching, what philosophy they're going to be looking at for the upcoming season, and what they're going to be able to do to be able to build upon that. So just for me, and I'm excited about as far as the draft goes. I'm excited about the linebacker position. And just looking at something like we talked about earlier with Tony Pollard and Rico, hey, like you just like buy, like I have no problem with that either because some of these running backs, I don't know, maybe I don't know if they go maybe second, third, round as far as picking a running back. And I haven't looked at some of the lower rate running backs to see who will be there and available. But these running backs in this class, are I'm telling them, they're not making me look at Tony Pollard or Rico, any different than how not giving us production. So I'm really more so at this point. We're just looking at
looking more at the draft and the free agents. Yeah,
right.
I mean, another move I didn't bring up, and we'll probably do another show where we'll talk more like in depth about the draft. But another free agent I didn't bring up the running back, Derrick Henry.
Right.
I wanted Derrick Henry before the trade deadline. Saquon Barkley, DeAndre Swift. Like, this is a premium free agency.
I just heard that today that Swift was going to be a free agent. And I'm like, yeah, he could be a fit. I'm saying, like, I've been looking at Barkley, but Swift. Man,
this is premium free agent. This is like a premium free agent market.
Right. And not only going to get them, but Josh Jacobs as well.
Josh Jacobs. Like, you can go out and get you some guys. So,
right.
Jerry talk about all in. Yeah, we'll see, Jerry. We'll see if you talk about we're not going to make moves for the future. It'll be
right. Exactly.
Thank you. Exactly. Y'all get those likes up. Help us. But he said we're not going to be making moves for the future. Are you both out on Malik Davis? I mean, Malik Davis has been locked into the practice squad for like 3 years. So, I mean, I don't think it matters. Like, obviously, this coaching staff don't believe it.
Right. I think he's just going to be amongst the guys who's like in the competition. But unless he just, I mean, it was just like last year. Unless he just really, really showed some flashes, like, bro, I don't know if he's like Gallup to me, but he's really fighting like for his job. Like I said, he's on the practice squad.
Yeah, I mean, he is basically like, but he's even lower than Gallup. Like, you are a practice squad player. Exactly. No one has poached you from the practice squad. Nobody wants you. You're right.
No one's vouching. I mean, I say no one's vouching for him, but no one's spoken up about him, or no one's saying, right. He's being brought up. Yeah, we believe in Malik and all that, but no one's banging on the table or anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's definitely not the guy that's going to come in and solve our running back room problems. Right. So I don't believe they are giving him a chance. I mean,
yeah.
At the same
time, he had last camp though to show it.
He's had 2 camps. I mean, they're not seeing it. I have to believe if he's not getting on the field, like they just aren't seeing something out of him where they feel like you should give a chance.
Right.
With Sports Junkie, angry Cowboys fan.
Angry Cowboys fan.
We're definitely looking at that one.
Yeah, we're gonna look into that.
But yeah, we can just close out. No, I'm definitely not out on Izzy McQuamu. I'm definitely not out on him. I'm not out on Izzy. I'm not out on Wanye Thomas. I think both of those players should be playing and should have been playing this year. Right. They should have been playing this year.
Right. So, especially if you throw Nashawn Wright out there.
Right. Definitely not out.
I understand. That's what I understand.
I have no idea why Nashawn is still on this roster. I have to believe it's Dan Quinn. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's another reason why I need Dan Quinn to go, because he has his favorites and he's in love with traits.
Right.
I can't. I just need this man to go. I'm sorry. I know people are trying to really be like, do y'all really want him to go? It's like, yeah.
Like, you don't hear us?
He's not. I mean, I really do. Like, I feel like we can't. No one else can call this defense better than Dan Quinn. I just find that hard to believe.
Right.
Like, he's been exposed. We at some point, like, we gotta.
Right.
He should have left last year, but we kept him here. He wets the bed like that. Like, I'm sorry, we cannot run it back with him. I really hope the Commanders take him, because it's like, or if the Commanders don't take him, I really hope Dan Quinn just says, "Hey, I'm gonna choose to resign. I just want to sit out a year."
Right.
Because the players don't want you, bro. Micah, he's pretty much all but saying like,
I tried, you know what I'm saying? So
I don't.
And I didn't expect for Micah to come out and even say anything, honestly. So for him to be like, it wasn't like everybody stepping up and
for him to say you can take that how you want it, he doesn't care.
Right.
Like, he's done with Dan Quinn, bro.
Right.
And I can't have my best player done with you, because he's not gonna listen to you. Dan Quinn's gotta go. He's got to go. He's got to go. Like, I'm sorry. So I really, even if he don't get the commander job, Dan Quinn, please just take a year off like Mike McCarthy did. And say, I'm going to sit out. I'm going to see another head coaching job. I'm going to perfect my craft.
Exactly.
We cannot have you back here. So,
that's not a bad thing. Like you said, he had to take time to step back, look at what he was doing, and look, because we like we talk about stuff before we get out of here. We talk about the evolution of the NFL. Like, well, it's here. You know what I'm saying? And it's continually changing. We see younger players. We see younger coaches. We see different philosophies coming in. We're seeing the uptick of motion, like crazy motion. Like, you know, everyone, you know, we saw Miami. Not saying they're the first team to do it, but we saw the difference that McDaniels brought to Miami, and everyone's taking it and running with it, but we're seeing everyone's kind of trying to put their own spin in it. We see the coach coming out the Shanahan tree, just not gonna say dominating, but hey man, they doing the damn thing. You feel me? And Russ is continuously having trouble with coaches like that. We gotta find a way. Not we, but Dan Quinn or whoever comes in here gotta find a way to be able to counter that, because it's just gonna be a part of the continuous evolution of the game. But I think when they say change is constant, that's going to be one thing that's going to stay the same, because motion tricks up defenses. That's how you get information. That's how you get the information. How the quarterback gets the information when you're at the line. So if you can't adjust to that, they're going to be able to continue to run on you. They're going to be able to continue to pass on you. They're going to be able to continue to convert those first downs when you give them a 5-yard automatic.
Yeah, I mean, somebody pointed out, I forgot who it was, but they were like, did the Patriots get back into that Super Bowl because of Tom Brady, or because the Falcons couldn't stop the run?
Right.
Like, this man does not. There's a reason why he turned your 330-pound DT to 290 pounds. He's not really interested in stopping the run.
Right.
His system is flawed. I think it's going to take him some time to figure out how to fix and tweak his system.
Yeah.
And I think he just needs to go to a place to where he can. We just, like, these guys, like the personnel that we have, like, he don't want to use it properly. He wants LVE to be a pass rusher. Just go somewhere else where you can get you to pass rushing linebackers, all this stuff. Like, I don't know, but we need to move on. Regardless, Dan Quinn needs to move on. Like, and I think if he comes back, like, unless the front office just does some crazy stuff in free agency, it's going to be real hard for the fan base to buy it back into anything with Dan Quinn in the helm. And no one's going to care if they shut out sucky opponents. Like, we play a lot of hard games next year, and it's like, do y'all want to have this guy back? Ooh, I just don't want him back. Like, I'd rather just see what else is out there. If we get big words, oh well. You know, at least we try.
Then we just want something different. Like, if you're literally bringing back the same two coaches, like, what are you changing? Like, it's literally the same. Even if you carve up disrupting the assistants, or, you know, the DB coach, maybe a coach here and there.
It's not gonna matter if you have Dan Quinn in his philosophy here. Like, he's gotta go. Any other organization, he would have been fired by now.
Right.
Green Bay fired Joe Barry after what he did to our offense. Like, you gotta get rid of this guy. You gotta get rid of him. He's gotta go. Period. But anyway, thank you guys for.
Yeah. Thank you everybody for joining us. Hopefully we'll get a decision soon. I think I seen a tweet saying that they should be maybe decide in the next 48 hours. Hopefully we'll have some DQ news, you know, maybe
I've been checking my phone like crazy. I'm like,
right, you know, that's maybe a different DC, you know, going into the rest of this week, y'all. But thank y'all for joining us on this Wednesday evening, you know, hump day, hump night, you know, whatever you guys want to call it. You know what I'm saying? But thanks for spending time with us. Before we get out of here, hit the like button, of course the share button. If you're listening on Twitter, hit the retweet. Thank everybody for coming through. And, you know, hopefully, you know, we'll be back next week with another show. You know, saying starting out the month, February, you know, shout out to everybody, you know, Aquarius, you know, Aquarius season, you know, Aquarius over here. It's my birthday soon. Just let you guys know, you know. No, I'm playing. But like I said, thank you, everybody. And like I said, you know, before we came in here, you know, we're on a mission of 200 subscribers, y'all. So hit the like, hit the retweet, hit the share, y'all.
Yep.
You guys have to say, Star?
No, just thank everybody for rocking with us tonight. And hopefully, you know, we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Yeah, guys. You guys have a great night. We can see you guys later.